You look well. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing fabulous. I've been losing weight. Do I look a little bit slimmer?
Oh, you know, it's the hair. I love your hair too. So
Thank you. Yes, I did these twists on Saturday, so carefree hair for a couple days. Yes,
it's gorgeous, and the weight loss too. And you're doing some vegetarian things too. That is nice. God.
I am all vegetarian, vegan.
Okay, well then that's a good thing because I've been doing that myself for the last few months, and then I switched. You know, I have some days that one day I had lobster and pasta, but
this weekend. This was 4th of July weekend here in the U.S., of course, right?
Yes.
So I was craving some seafood of all things. Wasn't a barbecue, wasn't like a hamburger or steak or hot dog. I did crave a hot dog a little bit, but I was just like craving some shrimp and some crabs.
Yeah, and I want to thank you again for the information from your class because I really learned a lot, but more importantly, I've used it. So that's the key point. And you know what's interesting? People don't believe when you tell them because I'm on a page for Aruba called Aruba One Happy Island. And I'm constantly telling people about the rules for coming here. They question the government. I'm on another page for tax deeds investment. And I'm telling people constantly, look at Sandra Edmond. And I said, Sandra Edmond, I attended the class. It's well worth it. And people will say, oh, is it real? I was there. It's real. And do you know what? No matter what you say to some people, it's like, how much money can you make? Well, how much do you want to invest? You know, it's not like there's a set formula. You're going to get thousands right away, but it is real. And when I tell people that she's real, she's a Black young lady, and she's been doing this for years, they'll say, really? They're like, what's the gimmick? And I said, there is no gimmick. It's hard work. You know, you got to do your due diligence.
It is a lot of hard work. I've had people come to the office to verify that this is not a scam and that it's real. Like, I'm going to do a video and I'm going to post it on my Instagram and Facebook. I get a lot of people on social media, and then I repost them again on YouTube that shows the actual tax deed, my very first deal. So I can show it to them and hold it up and show them. This is how you go into the public records. If you have any doubts about anybody, it's okay to doubt, but you can trust and verify the information that they're giving you, you know. So I show them ways to verify my identity, to verify who I am, what I'm doing, and my experience. So let's talk about the deal that you were doing a little bit of diligence on, and you almost jumped into a pile of trouble, maybe?
I want to tell you, first of all, thanks a lot. People won't, and that's why I had to write you the letter, because something, remember when in class you talked about different ways, you don't have to go to the auctions, you could go to eBay or other. I went to eBay, and on eBay, I'm always looking for land. It said 43 acres, Alachua County. It had a partial number, but what I did, I said, let me call Alachua County. I called, talked to this wonderful clerk. I mean, she was just full of information. She said, well, see, can you find the partial number? Because they had a couple of numbers. I found the partial number, gave it to her. She said, let me look it up. And they had two zonings on there, which was, she said, let me tell you what these zonings are first. One was for swamp, and another one was for tree underwater. Tree underwater. I said, wow. And she said, you cannot build on this land. You cannot do anything, and the chance of you ever getting a permit is not at all. You can request one, but most likely you won't. She said it's only swamp land. And the value, and here's the kicker, the value was like $400. It was a price of $400. So I'm thinking, $400, that's cheap for 43 acres. The funny part is that I wanted to get 40 acres and a mule. And that was my whole goal.
That's what I was gonna say.
I just want 40 acres, but I didn't exactly want swamp land. And so what happened when she told me, she said, you cannot do anything on this land. And I said, are you sure? She said, positive. And I said, well, I want to thank you a lot. I'm so glad I did my due diligence, because actually without that due diligence, had I not followed through, later on when I checked the bidding on eBay, it was someone bought it for like $1,400. And the person that was selling it, his fee was like $595. This is true. His fee, because you know they charge a fee for like they said, transferring the title, putting everything in your name. It was like, and I didn't believe it. I said, $495 is what he charged. And I said, why on earth would you charge that much? He was saying transferring the fee. I know myself, I bought property in Monroe County down in the Keys, a certificate. It doesn't cost that much to transfer the fees. It's probably less than $20, $30. But people make that, he was making his money by the transfer more than the property. And I was so lucky because I had just finished an online class. We're still teaching, but we're doing it online. I finished the online class. I was sitting at the university and I said, let me just call and the property appraiser and see. And it was unbelievable. I said, wow, I saved myself over $1,000 by following your due diligence. And that, yes. And that's the thing too, is that it's for the tax deeds, I'm really interested in getting that more than I am certificates. So it's been your class. And I want people to know, you know, regardless of the money, it's an investment in yourself, in your family, and the future. Because my whole goal was to get the land, leave it for someone. But shoot, leaving swamp land, my son is an attorney. He would say, what was I thinking? You know, what can you do? You can't, and she made it clear, you won't be able to build on it. You can't live on it. Only thing you could do, apply for a zoning variance. And she said, most likely you won't get it because it's underwater. She said, tree underwater. I said, tree underwater? I never heard of it before. And which means is that all the trees are underwater. You can't do anything on it. You know, even if you put sand on it, you couldn't do anything. She was telling me.
And we're so grateful for having people, public servants like that, working at the property appraiser, tax collector, because they hear the horror stories when people call them after they've gotten something very bad.
And
so
it's too late.
Avoid that. You know, that's one of the things I try to do too, is show people the correct way to do things, because by the time you call me and you've already done it, it's a little too late. You know, you
it's too late
ahead of time. And I'm so glad you learned that during the class. It's not just due diligence on tax deeds. You learn how to do due diligence on regular real estate.
Miami-Dade.
So tell everybody where you are and how easy it was for you to do due diligence from where you are on property hundreds of miles away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Pat Brumley here in Aruba. I have taken the course with the Queen of Tax Deeds. I took mine in Broward County in Fort Lauderdale in June. I learned a number of things, but one of the most valuable things I've learned that saved me probably close to $2,000 was do your due diligence, D-U-E, diligence. But I had an experience with Alachua County. I called the Alachua County appraiser's office to look up a parcel that I had saw on eBay. When she looked up the parcel, she informed me that the parcel was swamp land and tree underwater land, 43 acres. And I was in shock because I actually wanted to get my 40 acres. But unfortunately, it was only appraised at $400. You couldn't build on the property. You couldn't live on the property. And she said, most likely the zoning would not come through. And had I not done my due diligence that I learned in Sandra Edmonds' course, I never would have known that the property was swamp land. I would have thought I was buying just regular land that I could use for commercial purposes. But luckily I learned to check the zoning out. And that's something, I've been in real estate for a long time. That's something that I've learned. And something that
about your real estate background. You have a real estate license as well, right?
Yeah, I have a real estate license, had it since 2001. So I've had it, but that's something too, you know, that you learn every day. I'm not open to learning, but when I took your class, gosh, you have so much energy and you give so much information, additional information, certain things you know, but it's good when someone tells you. And actually due diligence has different meanings in different settings. So for looking at tax deeds and tax certificates and land, raw land, those are things you learn on your own. So you're never too old to learn. And I'm 68. And I'm glad that I'm number one, I'm glad I took your course, but it's a way that you can leave family members an inheritance of land. And it's a way too that I'm glad too, because I'm still looking for land. I purchased some in Monroe County with your help, because I've actually looked at tax certificates there, but I'm still looking. And I'm here in Aruba and I'm doing it all online, and thanks to you. So this is real for people who want to know, is it real? Yes, I'm real. I'm right here sitting in a condo in and you can check it out. I'm in Waikiri condos here in Aruba, and this is a real situation. And I'm living here, retired here, and I'm working here too. But I love it. But I flew over, took your course for 2 days, so people will know I took that course for 2 days. Excited. It was in Fort Lauderdale. Yes, real people, crowded classroom. We all had laptops, and we learned, and we went on the field trip the second day. It was exciting. It was exciting for me because we actually knocked on doors of individuals. You remember we knocked on doors?
Yes, and we had people that answered and talked to us.
Yes.
Was that the class where we had the guy come out and he started whispering in the hallway and telling the whole tea? He gave us the
and then
tea.
that was he invited us in. Another guy invited us in.
Yes.
Beautiful condo. We went in, and all of us went in and looked, and he didn't have any problems telling
And he
us.
told us all about his neighbor, the
Yes.
neighbor, because that was the unit going up for auction.
Exactly. And then one of the young ladies, she was in another apartment. She didn't have a problem speaking with us too. It was a great experience on a luxury bus. So people should know, hey, if you want to learn more about tax deeds, this is the real way to do it, with a real person that gives you information, and you're accessible. I've emailed you since and contacted you, and you replied back, and I appreciate that. So this, I'm doing more. Also, I've been registered through you, through some of these tax deed sales, as well as a number of sales that now I'm waiting. When the sale takes place, I've already put my information, so I'm ready to buy. And I will continue to buy, because this is a way of leaving money for your family, so that this is a lifelong process for them. And I want to thank you. I really do, Sandra. You're good. You're good at sharing your information and sharing information, especially on Tuesdays when you share information. This is anyone that go to YouTube. If you just look up who you are.
Yep, Queen of Tax Deeds on YouTube and on Facebook and Instagram, because I do Tuesday every week on Instagram and Facebook.
And I'm a real person, Pat Brumley. You can look me up. I'm on Facebook, but and also too Instagram. But also too, when it comes to the Queen of Tax Deeds, and Sandra, I need to say this: you're very user friendly. You are, and I think anyone that wants to get more information, this is a real deal. I'm a retired school teacher and librarian, and I know too, being able to communicate is one of the top skills that people like. So you are able to communicate that in a non-threatening manner that makes people want to go ahead with it and be instrumental in reaching that goal of material wealth. We have to have land. Raw land is what I like too.
I know a lot of people that don't want to look at land. They don't want to consider it. And I said, look, in the beginning, when I first started doing land, that was a 6-figure business. Okay. Before you even knew it, you were like, wow, this is a lot of money coming in for vacant land. So vacant land is awesome. It is great. My very first deal was in 2004 in St. Lucie County. So people that want verifiable proof, if you see my business name over my shoulder there, Ardness Inc., ARDNAS. You can go into the St. Lucie County Clerk of the Court and search Ardness Inc., and you will see a tax deed back in 2004 for my very first deal. And I turned around and flipped that. I think we bought it for 12 and we sold it for 49. So all that is viable and true, information. So I welcome people to do their due diligence. They come up. Before COVID and stuff, we'd have people every once in a while just come by just to verify that this was the real office and there were real people in here and that I was who I said I was. The janitor had told me that. The maintenance guy had told us that somebody had come, the door was locked, and they were trying to find out from him, are there real people in here? Is it a black lady? He's like, yeah, in here. They're just not in right now, but if you come later on, you'll probably catch them here. Yeah, so I'm actually doing a class with my RIA coming up on this Saturday. Is that the 11th? Oh, I should know. Where's my phone? I think it's the 11th, this Saturday.
Okay.
Anyway, you can sign up on cfri.net is the website, and the class is going to be going on. It's going to be a 4-hour class. Yes, it's Saturday, July 11th, so that's in a couple of days. And we're going to be talking about due diligence, how to do your due diligence, just like Pat did. How to do due diligence on buying property, on selling property, partnering with people. Even if you're just trying to learn from somebody, You can do due diligence on people like me. You can check and see. I said I did my first deal. Okay, you check to make sure that I did. I have bought tax deeds before. You know, I say,
Yeah.
hey, you can verify it. St. Lucie County.
You
Yeah.
bought a lot in Orange County.
You find a lot, yes, in Orange County as well. Correct. So
Yeah.
anyway, most of my stuff now, I buy them in a land trust. But before, I was just buying them in my company's name, which is Artness, and that's my first name spelled backwards. Most investors are shocked to see, that Artness is Sandra spelled backwards, because I figure if it worked for Oprah, right?
It'll work for you.
I'm gonna try to see if it'll work for me.
Okay. Oh, okay. Because I think too, what I'm gonna do is start looking at, well, as I've been doing, land first, and then maybe later on land trust too. That's something you use that with an attorney. I'm sure you get. Are you affiliated?
Yes, I have a professional trustee that sets up my land trust, and one of the trustees I use is Mark Warda, W-A-R-D-A, and his website is floridalandtrust.com. But he's an attorney that literally wrote the book on land trust.
People don't realize the information you share is information for life. It's not just use it now to buy something quick and then you're through. No, this is information that you can constantly build on.
And then because of COVID, Pat, we've had to take the field trip and put most of it online now.
Online.
So it's called Tax Deeds at Your Fingertips. So it's still just as immersive. And they do get me live for a couple of the sessions, so it's still really, really, really good.
And the auction too was online that you did with.
Yes, we're doing the online auction as well. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you're a busy camper.
Yes, I try to stay busy. Everybody keeps me busy. It's teaching is busy and investing. It's like I've got my feet, you know, my one leg in teaching, one leg in actually doing it. So it's a bit of a juggle, but I have a good staff. I have my assistant that helps me with a lot of the stuff. And so I'm able to do the favorite part of it is the investing part. I love teaching and helping people, but the investing part of it is my favorite. So those I hope to continue doing forever, for a very long time. So what's the weather like in Aruba? And,
oh gosh, we're 88 degrees. You know, we're not in a hurricane zone, so no hurricanes, nice weather. The beach, it's just empty because tourists is a main industry. So because
we have a ton of COVID cases here in Florida.
Yes.
What is it like in Aruba right now?
Zero cases. But what has happened is that they're opening it up to United Kingdom is 5 and to Curacao and Bonaire. Now, when it opens to the United States as of July 10th, there are so many conditions that has to be met, and that's where the fear is, because everyone is fearing when it opens up.
Zero cases. Are they doing any testing over there?
Yep, we did. See, this has been
no tests, no cases.
Yeah, this has been a 3-month period though. You know, we started out with about 125 cases. Now we're down to 0, and we just had 2 lingering cases that were in the hospital. But we don't have any active cases right now. Everything is fine. But the fear is the tourists. That's the biggest fear when the tourists start coming, because it's a beautiful island.
I feel like that's where I need to pack up and go. Get my passport, pack up and go, because, you know, I've been recently diagnosed with high blood pressure. I didn't even know I had high blood pressure, which is what got me in the hospital, because they were trying to bring the blood pressure down, and it damaged my kidneys. So with the high blood pressure, kidney disease, you know, I'm super high risk. Tell everybody what you do for a living.
Say that again.
Tell everybody what you do for a living. What is your
I'm a full-time professor at a university here in Aruba. They say I'm the chief librarian, as well as assistant professor of medical communication. It's a medical university that I'm affiliated. We train doctors primarily in family practice medicine. They come to the United States and they do their rotation in about 4 to 5 different areas: OB-GYN, family practice, psychiatry, optometry. And so we have hospitals in New York, Chicago primarily, and also in California. And what we do is prepare those doctors to become basically family practitioners. A lot of them, students come from Canada, United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and we have quite a few that comes primarily from India, Pakistan, Nepal. those countries. And we have a few from the United States. And we have one of the top programs in the Caribbean. We're number 2 actually in the Caribbean for training family practice. We're accredited. And that's the nice part, because if you are going to medical school, you do want to be at an accredited school that you can transfer and actually go places. When you come to Aruba, from the airport on, every place is clean.
I've gone to Aruba a few years ago on a cruise, so I do remember.
Okay. Okay. Well, you went downtown.
Very nice. And it was flat. The only thing I noticed about Aruba was completely very flat, you know?
It is flat. Come on down. You got an invitation.
Yes, maybe we'll do a training over there. That'd be great.
That would be great. Let me know.
In Aruba. You know?
Yeah, let me know. I would organize it for you. I'll help you get it together. Seriously, I would help you organize.
Place to stay and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
All tax deductible, you know, combining my love of travel and investing and teaching.
You would love it.
Yes,
yes. You would love it. Yeah, you would love it.
Maybe that'll be our celebratory when they find a cure and we're all back open again. We'll do one.
Yes.
You know, big trip.
And hopefully I'm here.
Thank you so much for everything and all the good things that you said. It means a lot coming from another educator like yourself, you know.
Well, it's true too. It's true. You're very knowledgeable, but more importantly, you share it in a non-threatening manner that people can understand what you're saying. If you
let us see a little bit of Aruba. Can you show us? Can you show us how many views there?
Hold on. Let me take this. Let me take this off the stand. I have, and don't judge me.
No problem. Listen, we didn't plan that part. So, you know, this is how you know it's real.
I was going to say, don't judge me, because I have a maid and she's here now.
Haven't had my maid. I hadn't had anybody clean my house in months. I'm now having to do it all myself.
Sorry to hear that. Okay, I'm turning it around.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, here's my unit, my condo. Okay, okay. Now we're going outside. So here's my maid. She comes about twice a. Bom dia. How are you today?
Those are nice units.
Good. I'm videotaping in the United States. I want them to hear you say hi. Just say bom dia. Hi. She's here, always cleaning. And take a look.
Wow, very nice.
I know. That's our pool. And let me walk around a little bit more. And these are all condo units. And there's our area where you come in at, and you can, we have an area where we have a barbecue grill and people set up outside. And then there's more. I'm on the 2nd floor. And I've been here for 2 years.
You have a great view. Beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I've been here 2 years. And then I don't have any shoes on right now.
Yeah, you don't have to.
And then I am less than 100 feet from the beach that I go often. Okay. And
that's where you do your yoga, right?
Yes. We have Manchego, which is a hotel and casino. It has the beach, a little bit of everything. Hi, bom dia. I'm fine. Thank you. How are you? Good. And we're always having people here come and maintain a little bit of everything. So it's a nice place. Nice place to be.
Very beautiful.
And people are very nice. Very nice.
What is the name of that property?
Well, what happened is that I'm in what's called a vacation rental. It's owned by all condos, owned by owners. And then I rent mine out. They have long-term rental and short-term. So I'm in a long-term rental.
No, what is the name of that area where you are now? The name of that building?
Palm Beach.
Palm Beach. Not the subdivision, the complex.
This complex is called Waikiri, Waykiri, Waikiri.
Okay. Very pretty.
And this area of the island is called Palm Beach, which is the exclusive area, which is a high-end area of
Palm Beach, Aruba. Okay.
Palm Beach, Palm Beach, and actually, it is has some very nice homes, condos, and not far. If you know where the Marriott.
I see us totally laying by that pool there and doing our.
I know. You would, right?
I could totally see that.
Yes.
I think they've got at least 10 seats down there. Yeah.
They do, and one has your name on it, Sandra.
Yeah. Laying in the pool, you know. They would do waterproof pages.
I know, I know. It's a good place to be. You have to come because everyone that comes, I always put them on a tour. So you do a whole tour of the island, so you get a chance to see some of the highlights. Alta Vista, which is a chapel, you get a chance to see. We have a natural bridge, which is beautiful. I mean, it just takes your breath away. There's a donkey farm. There's an ostrich farm. I could be a salesperson for Aruba, but I like it. Let's say I like it. And I have to say crime is very little to not at all. Where you going? And you don't get the harassment from police officers. Matter of fact, for tourists, they are super, super kind too, because remember now, that's the main industry.
That's the money.
It's tourism. It's tourism. So in this case, it's a utopia in a sense. Only thing is that it's not many minorities. Okay, I can tell you that straight up. Like I told my daughter, that's the only thing that I regret, because when you see me, you see the population. I'm the only one at the university. The staff is predominantly Indian, Canada, European, and we have one African guy and me. That's okay. But at the same time, it'll be 2 years and next month that I've been here, and like I said, it's been a good experience for me. As a matter of fact, I like it. If the land wasn't so expensive, I wouldn't mind purchasing something, but it's way out the box for me. The university provides me with a lot of stipends. Other than that,
Thank you for being so open with us and permission to record the Zoom, because I think so many people are going to benefit and learn from what you had to say, and it's really going to impact them.
Well, the due diligence, I hope they follow it, to be honest with you, because that's something that I've learned from you that I really hope people take advantage of it, because once they learn the due diligence, the sky's the limit. And title search, well, that's on my list. And I think too, if people could just do it, you know how people hesitate and they'll say, oh, is it real? Is she real? Does she have an office? Or, you're real, and is it a gimmick? It's not a gimmick. This is the real, it's the real world for people that really want to do it. I like your hair too, I have to say.
Thank you. I did twist a couple days ago. So I love it. Hair-free. And I'll probably take them out in a couple of days. Yeah, it's got some twisting.
You normally twist it, you let it stay for a few days? Or?
Yeah, I leave it in for a couple of days. I don't do it too long because I've messed around and left it a long time and the ends got knotted and I had to cut things.
Getting dreadlocks.
I spent a lot of money on haircuts. There's no reason for me to go in prematurely and having to cut and mess the whole thing up.
It's beautiful. Even the color. I like the color. I had to color mine up there.
Thank you. I messaged my colorist on social media. I was like, I miss you.
I know.
I can't come in, but I miss you so much.
Especially during this coronavirus time, you have to sort of make do yourself. I wish I was.
What a better place to ride out a pandemic.
I mean, to get something to eat now. So
me too. I haven't had breakfast yet either. I got to take medication too.
Yeah, how's it going with your health before we leave? How's your health?
Everything is going great. I've been losing weight because that's important now to try to get my blood pressure down as well. Is try to lose as much weight as I can. So I'm probably maybe 17 pounds away from my first goal.
Oh, wow.
My blood pressure is steadily going down. It's kind of like staying in one area right now, and I want it to go down even further. So vegan eating, working out. That's when you saw me making that video a couple days ago.
Yes. You were really
in the morning. Yes, walking in the morning and then eating right. I'm just eating all plant-based food.
Yes.
That's it. No meats, no drive-through. Chick-fil-A, that always be my home. Okay. I'd be there 3 days a week. I have not had Chick-fil-A. Okay. And as much as I've been on Chick-fil-A, the thing I miss most is a good egg sandwich. I love eggs, and
one of the reasons I support you, but you're knowledgeable, and you don't mind sharing that knowledge, which is nice because you'll find some people they want to keep it a big secret. Once you ask them questions, you don't mind sharing, and knowledge is to me is power, and that's the basis of what. I think on this earth, and I don't know how long I'll be here on this earth, but having shared the knowledge with you is important. Well, thank you. But even having you to share knowledge, because even when I try to share it with my friends and tell them about buying tax deeds and liens and land, boy, sometimes I'm talking to a dead horse. Other times you get people that say, how much money you need? How much can I make right away?
Well, I've learned you can only give them the information, have them receive it when they're ready.
Yes.
Some people just are not ready for it.
Some are not.
I have plenty of family and friends, and you think they come to me on real estate? No, I mean, they're arguing with me about real estate related stuff and telling me a totally different way. And I'm like, this is what I do for a living. I said, a lot of people pay me a lot of money to tell them what I know.
But listen, the overage, once I get in the States, will be an area to consider, because that's another one. And I learned that from you. I never knew about, never knew.
And the overages, for people that may not know what we're talking about, is money left over from the sale. So if a property goes to tax deed sale and it sells for above the opening bid, oftentimes there's money left over that the actual homeowner who lost the property can get. So what we do is we contact these homeowners and help get the money. I have an overage case going on right now, one of the cases, and oh my God, it is so much work. But usually they're easy, there's no work to it. But this one, it has nothing to do with the overage is the problem. It's just like regular real estate. We become like the social worker, counselor, the priest, and everything to the people that you're helping out. The poor lady doesn't have ID. Her ID expired. So we're in the process of trying to help her get her ID renewed, because we have documents that need to be notarized. We have court filings that we also have to make, because it was in an estate, and the estate was in her mother's estate. So we have to probate that estate. But the biggest thing right now is getting her ID. So we finally get an appointment with the driver's license office, which has been closed. And because she'd been married several times and she'd been adopted, they also now want to see her adoption records.
Oh man, who has
adoption
that?
records. The poor woman is 60-something years old. And we have to look for her adoption records to get those so she can get her driver's license, because you can't really do anything without an ID or driver's license.
Wow. That's how it is. And I know for my brother, since he was the one that took care of all of my father's expense, his name was on everything as having the power of attorney. So I said,
he was probably the personal representative, right? The PR.
He was. Yes, he was. So I said that money wouldn't come to me at all, would it? I wouldn't.
No, the money would come to the estate. He's the personal representative. He represents the estate. Okay. And then he would be able to sign for it and send it out. But once the estate is closed, then the money and the assets go to whoever's named in the judgment for it, basically in the order. So that would be probably you and your siblings would all be named individually in there. So the personal representative's part is over with once they settle the estate.
Yeah, I think he was personal representative, or he might have had power of attorney, but I have a feeling it wouldn't be shared, because but
it's tricky when you have multiple owners and siblings owning things, which is why I like to pursue probates, because remember I talked about probates
yes
too. Those are deals that you can negotiate with the people that are inheriting the property. Someone passed away, it could be a parent, and now you're dealing with the children who they have to get the property out of the parent's name. So it's just a court process to change the assets over into the siblings and to the families who are inheriting its name. So a lot of that takes finesse and working and helping with them. The PR sometimes is under a lot of stress from the rest of the family members. They've never done this before. Real estate all the time, but this is their first time doing it. I had one lady I did a probate estate for. She was the daughter of the man who had died. She lived out of state, never came to Florida. She mailed me the keys so I can check out the house. And then we ended up buying the house and turning around and flipping it. So one thing that she requested, only one thing, and I'm a softie when it comes to probates and helping people, because I believe you really should treat someone the way you would want to be treated. So the one thing that she had asked is, can we take down the last name on the front of the house and send it to her, because she had grown up and that was her family's last name. So we took it out, and it was kind of like, it was old, it was wood, it was kind of like decaying a little bit, but it had these little trinkets hanging off of it too. So we carefully packed it up, in a bubble wrap and cushion, put it in a nice box, sent it FedEx at our own expense, signature only. And when she received it, she was just so touched. She was like, it really meant so much to me that you went through so much care to make sure that we got it all in good shape. Because to be honest, I told one of my assistants to take it off the house and to send it, and my assistant had forgotten. And it wasn't until I was going through one of my checklists, and I'd written it on the checklist about sending that back.
Yeah.
And my assistant was like, oh, it's still in the back of my car. I have it. I was like, oh my God, make sure it is not damaged today. Let's get it out to them and send it FedEx. And so we got everything out there. So,
and it's those little things that mean a lot. Have you done any foreclosures, or do you do those too? Foreclosures.
I've done some foreclosure stuff too, short sales and things like that.
Okay. I've seen the foreclosures listed.
My niche is more of distress period. So it doesn't matter what type of distress it is. It's taxes, it's probates, it's code enforcement, it's driving for dollars, it's anything.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, thank you so much, Sandra. It's been a pleasure speaking with you this morning because I'm getting hungry now.
Me too. I was like, hey, enjoy your breakfast. Okay, I'm getting ready.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye. You'll get the video shortly. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.